fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Here's Powell on the return. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And picked up by the Chargers. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. Two quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock. It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. An incredibly short kick fielded way up. Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And picked up by the Chargers. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a short return to the 6-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game. But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later? Who would that be? That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him? I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right? Yeah, I think he's doing okay. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he can't get away. Gurley couldn't escape it, and that's going to be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game. And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game. The Chargers ready to take over. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. After the turnover, here's Herbert. Going deep here for Allen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. He's at the 30. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, 75 yards. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Michael Badgley lining up. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion. He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun. Ty Long set to kick off. Long now will kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Powell up. Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And picked up by the Chargers. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. You and I have seen a lot of special comebacks. This one pretty much unbelievable. Roaring all the way back from that huge deficit, now in the driver's seat. Take the numbers out of it. It seemed insurmountable. It seemed monumental, like no chance you could get that done, but they did. Let's go back to the 92 NFL season, 93 playoffs. Houston, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Houston with the monster lead, and here come the Bills all the way back to win it. Led by Frank Reich, correct? Yes, Frank Reich was the quarterback. He'd done it in college a few times. He did it in the pros with the Bills. How old were you then? I was 10, but I remember it. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Falcons get a bit closer. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. This will be caught at about the 6. The conversion off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers, and it's a fumble, and the Falcons grab it.
The onside kick recovered by the Falcons.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Russell Gage, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right?
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Offside defense.
We can't have that.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 56 to Mark, boys. 56 track. 56. The Falcons will line up for the 2.
Here's Ryan. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball.
And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And the Falcons grab it.
A fumble on the play. Recovered by the Chargers.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting. Here in the final minute.
Touchdown, Falcons.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion.
Encroachment defense.
With that mistake, they only need 1 yard.
And that could make all the difference, right? When you're talking about goal line play where inches count, move it up 1 entire yard, that can make all the difference for the guys trying to get the points.
Here we go now as we get set for a big fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out and picked up by the Chargers.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion.
Encroachment defense.
Man, that ain't make no sense.
With that penalty, they only need 1 yard for the two-point conversion.
And that can make all the difference trying to get those 2 points, right? Inches count down here in short territory. Maybe now they can get the 2 points that they want a lot easier.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a one-score game with a two-point conversion. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And, oh, no, he lost the football. And he'll get in, although there is a flag down. But if it's offsides, this is going to stand.
Can't do that.
Sterling Hoffrichter to kick off for the Falcons.
Now following the touchdown, Hoffrichter to kick off. And miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And the Falcons grab it.
One play at a time.
And he is in for the score. So how about this? A horrible mistake leads to a defensive touchdown.
Michelle, they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the two-point conversion.
One of the biggest plays in Super Bowl history unfolding before our eyes. They need... a crusher there. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
That keeps
So the inability there to get the two-point conversion sort of leaves the door at least a little bit more ajar.
And puts the onus now on the kickoff team and the defense to make sure they don't give up a big play that puts them in position to lose.
Especially on this kickoff. Got to be careful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Now here's a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And I think he was able to in trouble. And now this is going to be a safety. Oh, my goodness. In the final minute, down 2, and now we're looking at overtime. Well, it's rare to see one safety. It's even rare to see 3 safeties in a game, Charles.
Well, we'll be able to talk about this with our grandkids, great-grandkids, and anyone else that may come around the house when we get a little bit older on that rocking chair. We were there when we saw 3 safeties in one game.
Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember the rules.
Sterling Hoffrichter to kick off for the Falcons.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. Big time, obviously a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. 2nd and 10, here's Herbert once more. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on 3rd down.
3rd down and 10.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up. Keanu Neal. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows
Julio Jones all alone. The 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there in overtime. 75 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And that is off-target thing here in OT. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem himself. But the question now is, will that chance ever come?
And as is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And that changes everything here in OT. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well, because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. All that for a 2-yard gain, second down. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps. So they're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. Get, as you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
He's going to lose big-time yardage here, but it may not matter because a flag is down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now Ryan on second down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the ball comes out, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
Justin Herbert sacked.
Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And my, how the tables have turned. They had a chance inside the red zone, punched that thing in, and ended.